I don't know that there's a reason to give Felix Hernandez another start at this point. James Paxton, I guess maybe there is. Just let him finish on a positive note. Let him kind of clear the hurdle that was this pectoral injury or whatever they called it. Maybe that's okay. With Felix, I'm not sure what the point would be. To get the bad taste out of his mouth from a bad start, I'm not sure that really matters at this point with a pitcher like Felix Hernandez. I got a question yesterday. We're gonna start out with this. To be honest, we're gonna start out with the Felix question. I was asked by several people, a couple on Twitter, one on email, and a buddy of mine sent me a text, kind of echoing your guys' statements and your guys' questions. What do the Mariners do with Felix Hernandez next year? I think the best answer to that question is not an answer to that specific question at all. Because I think the question is, what do they do with him starting November 1? And I'm not talking about trading him. That I can't imagine that's happening. You have a fading star who is starting to break down physically, and he isn't performing, and he's making tons of money. So I don't think the word trade makes any sense to even consider at this point. But what Felix does with his offseason is huge. And if he isn't willing, and I'm not accusing Felix of being closed-minded or being stubborn or anything at this point, but what I'm saying is if he's not willing to step outside of what he's comfortable with, then my bet would be that he's going to continue to have these problems. He's going to continue to break down. The arm strength is going to max out at 90 to 92. If he wants a chance to get back, he's going to have to step outside his comfort zone over the offseason. And I know that he worked his butt off last offseason, great. But all it seems that he did, and all I think that he did, was get in great shape. What I'm talking about and what I'm suggesting, and there's no chance the Mariners have not thought about this. By the way, there's no chance. I'm not breaking news. I'm not informing the Seattle Mariners of anything right now. Those people over there know what they're doing. Whether they can get Felix to follow advice is another question. Eric Cressey Performance, Kyle Bodie, Driveline are two of the elite training facilities for baseball players in the country, and that's amateur, high school, college, and professional. And they use a lot of weighted ball workouts, but there's a lot more to it. There's so much more to it. And maybe there's another outfit out there that I'm not thinking of, and I'm certainly not thinking of Velo Pro. From all I can gather, Velo Pro is a complete joke. So if you hear somebody shoving Velo Pro down your throat because they want your kid to go train with them, and there's tons of Velo Pro places around the country, please contact me first. Churchill@prospectinsider.com. Please contact me first. I'll give you my number. We'll talk on the phone. Because I want you to have as much information as you possibly can before you send your son or daughter to Velo Pro. And I will share with you who gave me the information on Velo Pro and who gave me... It's Jim Parquet's outfit is what I'm talking about. If you're not... And they changed the name of that outfit left and right, so I might even be behind one. Driveline in Kent, Washington, and Cressey on the East Coast. Cressey Performance on the East Coast. I've never heard a bad thing about them from anybody that's gone there. And I've talked to a lot. That doesn't mean that they're perfect. But they care about you. They care about the results. And they do things right, and they do things with data, and they do things with science. They don't do things with, well, this is the way I did it when I played. And they don't try to tear down others. In fact, Driveline and Cressey actually respect each other, and they show that respect for each other. And, I don't know this for a fact, but it sure seems like they share ideas and are open to each other's ideas. In fact, I'll just say this. I asked Kyle from Driveline if somebody was on the East Coast and not able to come out to the West Coast to train with you, who would you recommend? And he said, without a doubt, Cressey Performance. I think Felix needs something like that. I think Felix Hernandez needs something like that. And again, maybe the Mariners can do that without using one of these training facilities. I don't know how the Mariners are equipped to do. I'm not going to come out and say that they can't help Felix by themselves. I don't know that for a fact. Felix needs to get with the times. Yeah, I don't care what he does to get in great shape. He needs to strengthen his arm and train his body to last 230 innings and 120 pitches, and maybe even to add some velo back. If it's possible, it's training like that that's going to allow him to do that. I don't know that he's done any training of the sort. All I know is that he worked with some training guru over the winter and lost some weight. Where's that? I got turntables at a microphone. Where's that? I got turntables at a microphone. Hey, baseball fans, Jason Churchill here. You have just listened to a sample of Baseball Things recorded September 21, 2017. To hear the entire podcast and every other recorded episode of Baseball Things, click on the link in the description and subscribe. Your subscription includes access to all episodes, and you get a voice. That's right, if you want it discussed, I discuss it. End of story. You also get exclusive access to the Baseball Things Facebook group, where we make decisions about the podcast. Subscribe now, and thanks for listening.